Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Straight Edge Wrestling Podcast. My name is Adam. I'm joined by Tyler, and we're reviewing the Greatest Royal Rumble live from Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. It was
an interesting.
It was an event. It happened.
Mistake from start to finish on stuff. It's hilarious.
Yeah, there was so many cock-ups from start to finish.
Commentator team was just
all over the place.
I think they were suffering from heat stroke.
I think everyone was. I think I am in this room right now as well.
Yeah.
You can't tell, but it's about as hot as it was in Jeddah right now in this room. So we're not going to go through the whole card because for
10 hours to go through.
What appeared to be something bigger than it was just turned out to be a glorified house show. Nothing of any real consequence.
I want to know what does that title actually mean something? Or does it get to keep it for a year and then we had it the next winter?
They hadn't even mentioned it until they just randomly threw it on our screens as the match started. Oh, by the way, this is a thing. It was like, what? But
at least he's finally got a belt after all this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, he won the tag titles for 24 hours. What do you want?
Poor scheduling things there.
Yeah.
He doesn't need school when he could have a multi-million-dollar contract.
Exactly. So
pretty sure WWE could insure him.
So the event ran for what, 6 hours? 6 hours including the pre-show, so 5 hours. Seemed longer. Seemed about 12 hours.
An hour shorter than WrestleMania.
Yeah, with nothing happening.
I thought this was supposed to be an important event.
Yeah, so the pre-show, nothing happened on whatsoever. They didn't throw any matches on at all. Nice to see King and JR back, but JR looked like he wanted to fall asleep.
I can't believe he was watching the draft.
Watching the NFL draft up until 3 a.m, so why not? The show opened with a horrendous amount of pyro, and it was sort of a theme which went on.
The last one at the end looked like they were nuking the freaking country, so...
Yeah, like it was just a cloud of smoke. But we don't get pyro on Raw or SmackDown or any other pay-per-view other than WrestleMania, and now they've just basically blown their entire pyro budget. And there's a reason they've not been able to use pyro on Raw for the last year. It's because it all went to Saudi Arabia.
What about? That place is full of gunpowder. What do you need? They don't need to pay for it. It was supplied for them. No.
And so it started with Triple H and Cena. Boring. It was. They had a test of strength in 2018. Into that, like, come on.
Yeah, no one cares.
Yeah, it was boring. It was just, it was exactly what I expect from a Triple H match in 2018. Well, Triple H and Cena match in 2018. You know, it's just they work well when they're not together because they need someone with more energy, and that just wasn't it. Cena won with a pin after an AA.
Oh, well, at least that's something good for him going right now in his life.
Yeah, you know, he got and he semi-addressed it afterwards, didn't he? By saying, no matter what's happening in my universe, I wouldn't miss Saudi Arabia, and he thanked him for having the honor of being invited. Whatever.
What's he going to be invited? He's apparently the top guy.
Exactly. And then we had the cruiserweight title match. Cedric Alexander versus Kalisto. It was quite a good match.
Cruiserweight match, but it was a good one.
Yeah, it was a pretty decent match. Cedric won with the lumbar check. You know, but once again, it's just completely inconsequential because they just threw it on there for the sake of throwing it on there. But it was a decent match. It was probably, as far as like wrestling goes, probably the match on the big best match on the card. We then had.
I don't know. The ladder match was pretty good.
Oh yeah. Actually, yeah. To be fair. We then had the Bar versus Bray Wyatt and Broken Matt Hardy.
I want to know how that was going to go.
We knew that was going because, you know, one team isn't even on the show anymore.
But in that, they got some issues.
The crowd was dead.
The crowd has been dead for most of them.
Yeah, they picked up every now and then, but they were like, you could hear a pin drop because,
to be honest, though, what was doing my head in was the VIPs in the front bit because I'd rather stand up doing their own thing. At one point, for one of the matches, I turned around and said to you, "That bloke's arguing with number."
Yeah, they were just sort of chatting there on their phones, talking,
watching the match.
At one point, someone's carrying a chair above their head, one of these big bucket chairs above their head through the crowd. They just WWE kept on trying not to show it. Like you could tell through the first half, they weren't going to their hard cam as much. They were trying to do the porty cams on the side. But come on, there were just people moving. They obviously didn't know who was wanting to sit where, and where people obviously wanted to sit with. They're carrying chairs around the freaking. Anyway, it was ridiculous. So no one was paying attention to that match. I hardly paid attention to that match, to be honest, because we knew what the outcome was going to be. And Matt Hardy got the pin after they hit their joint finish.
I thought Bray would get. I was like, nah,
I forgot they have their joint finisher.
It's going to be Matt Hardy because Bray keeps giving everything to Matt.
Yeah, well, I forgot they have their joint finisher, which Matt obviously has to hit. But yeah, crowd was dead. But you know, I'm all for them being tag champs. To be fair, because doing anything with Bray Wyatt, I'm a fan of, as long as it's not him getting pinned and beaten. I don't
get where they're going with this thing at the moment. I need something more explained to me about his character at the minute.
Yeah,
and the fact that they brought up at the moment. Well, what's his actual thing? Is it still called Sister Abigail? Or
that was what Corey Graves said, didn't he? At some point during that, Corey Graves actually.
He's on his recovery prayers. We're not there yet.
We haven't got that far yet, Cole. just leave it at that. And then we went to Jeff Hardy versus Jinder for the US title.
Yes, but it was two ways things are going, but they can still do it Backlash the same way, where the titles could go to either show at the moment.
Yeah, but also this match was awful.
Oh my god!
I mean,
another hilarious bit.
There was about
Whisper in the wind.
There was about 4 spots in this where Jeff missed moves, Jinder missed catches, and then with the cherry on top was the whisper in the wind. He misses it, and then Jinder still takes the back bump.
You missed that bit, and you had to quickly rewind it.
I had to rewind it. I blinked and missed it. He took a back bump off of nothing. But then what got me, and it really annoys me, Cole called the move. Cole was like, well, you know, he caught him on the back end. They showed the replay, and you could still see he didn't even touch him. The wind must have taken him. You know,
that must have been that heat.
Yeah, the heat. Suddenly he was all overcome in the heat.
That so-called Canadian, that's Indian, but you know.
yeah. No, that's so-called Indian, which is Canadian, they should mean. But it annoys me when they call moves which clearly missed, and that was a theme of the evening, I think.
Yeah, but as the night got on, the commentator team got worse.
Oh Christ, it was terrible.
Well, it's still not the best thing that happened for the whole night, but we're going to get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Oh, and there was another bit in that match which really made me laugh. I told you when I picked it up. Jinder is the hometown favourite. Michael Cole said, Jinder may be the hometown favourite because Punjab is only 2,200 miles from Jeddah, whilst Cameron, North Carolina is 6,200 miles from Jeddah. What? Zero logic.
Even though he's still Canadian.
Yeah, even though he's actually born in Toronto or whatever, but we ignore that. We then went to a Jericho promo with his Tom Mike.
Forever known me as Tom now.
Yeah, that's it. He's Tom.
He popped back up later on in the show, and I was calling him Tom.
Yeah, Mike Rome. You're now Tom Phillips, basically. You know, Jericho's a master on the mic.
Although Tom Phillips is better.
I'm quite liking Mike Rome though. He's not really done anything.
Tom Phillips is still better.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really seen much with Mike Rome yet, but I'm hoping we haven't really got any personality in that announcers other than Renee Young. Renee sort of is the only one. Yeah, but it's obviously Jericho's Jericho. Whatever he does is you know, I'm going to watch. I'm going to laugh for it. He put everyone on the list. He went off ranting. What was really weird about this?
He brought up Kenny Omega because he still put Kenny Omega on the list.
Yeah, I feel as though Vince would have been there, like screaming in his face.
What's he going to do? It's too late. He's not got his paycheck.
What got me though was when you hear it on Raw, when you hear him cut a promo on Raw, if he says you just made the list, you hear the crowd pop, you hear all that. But
you
hear nothing.
There's been virtually no crowd pump the whole thing. There's a bit of a cheer for Roman. That was it. That was just when he showed up. That was it.
Roman?
Yeah, there was a bit of a crowd pump.
Oh yeah, for about 0.2 of a second, and then they went, "Oh, actually, we don't like you."
Well, sometimes they didn't say they didn't like him. That's all they did.
They
stay sharp at the top of the thing. That was about it.
They reacted, but like they didn't like him. He got zero reaction. Brock got zero reaction.
Everyone got zero reaction.
Undertaker nearly blew the roof off, the non-existent roof off the place. Hornswoggle nearly blew the roof off the place.
Hornswoggle got the best reaction out of the lot.
Ridiculous.
And yet he is still not eliminated for that Royal Rumble.
Yeah, we'll get to that. You had who else got a good reaction? Like Cena, obviously. Cena's obviously going to get a reaction. But as a whole, it was like Taker and Braun got a good reaction, and Jericho got the best reaction of the night, didn't he? Actually, at the end,
got the best reaction.
Jericho's reaction at the end of the night was something else. But I mean, for their standards, I'll say that, not for normal standards. We then had Usos versus the Bludgeon Brothers. Once again, predictable. because they weren't going to take the titles off the Bludgeon Brothers this quickly.
Although you all know me how I feel about the Usos. I love them, number one tag team in that company. But at the same time, they've only just won the belts, and you know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, it was
not getting the belts back for a while. It's a shame.
Yeah, predictable win, but you know it was an alright match. It was just a run-of-the-mill tag match.
Bad match.
But during that match, Michael Cole said that Sergeant Slaughter had died. Incorrectly, I might add. Incorrectly said that Sergeant Slaughter had died.
He's the guy who has to train all the commentators.
Yeah, he's the one in charge of this. And then Corey Graves pulled him up on it at the end and said, "Did you just kill off Sergeant Slaughter?" Anyway, you know that's the guy that's in charge of commentary.
It's going well.
Yeah, and that's sort of the tip of the iceberg.
None of them seem to be able to deal with heat very well.
No. And then we had the IC title match, the ladder match. It was a good match, really good match.
It was a good one. Fucking freaking thief at the end.
So Finn comes out last again. The champion comes out first again. Weird.
I still was hoping for that.
For Demon Finn.
Yeah. There's always hope.
Yeah. They must be saving it to that SummerSlam or something. They must be keeping it.
Because they couldn't use it at WrestleMania?
I reckon they're trying to build it up to be a proper thing, like do a proper build for it, not just like a 3-month build.
I feel like they may have just got rid of it for now.
Nah. They know the merch sells well with it. All the kids are walking around with a freaking demon hair stuff that they sell in the merch store, so they won't kill it solely for that reason.
You're talking about the man who do what he wants.
Yeah. If this has shown us anything, if this show has shown us anything, Vince McMahon only pays attention to dollars and cents.
Or if a black man falls over.
Yeah, or a black man falls over. But he only pays attention to that, and you know the demon is bringing him money, so it will come back. It's just a matter of when. But yeah, he came out last. He came out last, which is weird. Once again, Michael Cole said this stupid thing of Balor Club's now in Asia, and Corey Graves had to pull him up again. You know, we've toured in Asia before, and this is so. Do you mean the first time in Saudi Arabia? Oh yeah, that's the one. And it's just stupid things. Finn got fucked up.
Yeah, pretty much.
I
still want to know how he busted his eye open at the end.
Covered in blood.
Before he got on top of that ladder, before Seth stole the thing, his eye was not pouring with blood.
No, I don't know where it came from. I'm gonna have to watch it back.
I'm pretty sure after he got the bolt thing, he just headbutted the ladder.
Headbutted it, yeah.
He did a Goldberg.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see where it, because he cut his hand early on.
Yeah, that happened in the first 30 seconds of the match.
He cut his elbow. He had his chest was
it's like was messed up. Was it WrestleMania or the other one? Because there was another one where he just got murdered.
He always takes the brunt of everything. But yeah, he got
EC3 actually on
NXT
on that one.
But
I'm surprised he can still walk.
Yeah, he got fucked up. His face was just like, I mean, he's posted a picture on his Twitter now where he's cut and shit. Doesn't look great. And then so Finn's climbing the ladder. Got his fingertips on it. Seth leapfrogs in from the outside, straight onto the ladder, grabs it in about 4 seconds. I mean, it's a creative win. I've never seen that happen, I don't think. But I don't know. It's dumb. It's just dumb.
One day, you'll hold a title in the actual.
I just want Finn to hold the title.
More than a day.
I know. I just wanted.
More than a day.
I was optimistic. I was optimistic on Finn. I knew deep down he wasn't going to win it, but I will always say that he's going to win it just solely because I think he wants to win.
But I wasn't sure how it was going to go with the United States and get one. It would have been on the first one, and it was going to be where it went.
It was tedious, but the match was good. After doing the Superstar Shake-Up and Backlash and all this, once again, as we said last week, it just fucks the entire card.
To be honest, WWE is not going to get slightly interested again until after Backlash.
Yeah, they've just got to try and figure shit out now. And the thing is, they've been booking. They booked WrestleMania for this freaking show. They booked WrestleMania for Greatest Royal Rumble. They booked the last 2 weeks of Raw and SmackDown for this show, and then this show done nothing.
Well, yeah, you were telling me at the beginning of like Dave Metzer and all that, wasn't building up
like because it was
that will take the next year. And well, if that's the case, in WWE's.
Well, I mean, because the reports being that obviously the mega deal they've made with the Saudis, you'd expect them to give them a bone. They gave them nothing. They gave them nothing other than
Braun won a championship.
Won a bullshit championship and a quite.
That's cool 2 pay-per-views in a row now. He's won a championship.
Yeah.
Things are looking good for him in 2018.
But you know, it's like I thought that solely because the Saudis have given them so much money, they would throw him a bone. I was hoping with Roman. We'll get to that, but I was hoping with Roman, but whatever.
Don't anger me.
But anyway, Seth won. Seth retained, and then we went to the trainees, the guys from Saudi Arabia who they've brought over to the. This is just stupid. The guys they brought over to the PC in Florida. 4 guys. I don't know their names. I didn't write down their names. And you know what? Maybe in a couple of years, whatever, when they're actually doing something.
By the next year.
But by the next Saudi show, yeah, basically when they're all main eventers.
Beat up Braun Strowman.
Yeah, just fucking John Cena.
One's got the Royal Rumble, the other 3 got win belts.
Yeah. We had the Daivari brothers. Sean Daivari made his return. He's been gone for some time. He's been with TNA for some time, but he made his return. That was interesting. And from the reports on like Fightful.com and other places, they said that the bit when they came to the ring was edited out of Saudi television. I wonder why. When 2 men waving the Iranian flag come down to the ring, I wonder why they go to black screen there. Anyway.
Also, WWE are able to leave the country alone.
Yeah. So they didn't have fatwas against them. But you know, it was what it was. It was there to pop the crowd with, oh, here's his hometown natives, whatever. We then had Shinsuke versus AJ, the dick kicker versus AJ.
I'm a bit disappointed though.
With what?
Oh, I thought the little Asian man would win. I'm loving the whole heel thing with Nakamura.
I thought it was going to be Shinsuke, to be fair.
Although you were scaring me at the beginning part, because all you were like, as soon as AJ came out, I was like, I think he's wearing a cup.
I thought he was going to be wearing a cup. I thought they were going to do the cup thing. But he must be wearing a cup now anyway, just because Shinsuke put so much force into those uppercuts. So like he's got to be wearing some sort of protection.
AJ's balls are still up in him. He doesn't need to wear a cup.
Mania. But
no, from the first SmackDown show. That was the worst one out the lot.
Yeah, true. But the match, I think this was better than their Mania match because I got bored stiff with their Mania match. I thought it was just boring. I thought it was so hyped up to be this dream match.
Yeah, but there's more to it now and it's more personal.
Yeah, so
I don't like the fact though that it ended on a draw.
Yeah, it's once again they're booking this for the next show and the next whatever. But there was good psychology because Nakamura was playing the bad guy for once. It wasn't just 2 good guys facing each other. AJ was pissed off, so you had AJ just kicking the living crap out of him. Nakamura
wants his balls to drop. That's why.
Nakamura got the low blow again, and then a double count out. I didn't really see that coming, to be honest.
No,
I didn't. But you know, whatever they're booking it for Backlash. The
first time ever I wanted Nakamura to win, and the worst thing then it didn't. I'm really upset.
Yeah. I don't. God knows. I mean, this has got to carry on because obviously that's not the end, so it's got to carry on. And I'm liking the program, but I wish that they'd done a title change and carried it on.
Yeah, because once they do the title change, there's still got to be at least 1 more match.
Exactly. So we know it's got to carry on even more.
So it's going to be like a 6-month rivalry.
Which means that am I going to get bored of it?
Yes.
After that, exactly. So like when they actually do the title change and they carry on for the rematch.
Well, unfortunately, neither one of them are as charismatic as someone like Edge, who could do 6 months.
Yeah. That's what, and it's hard to do like a long 6-month rivalry with like a Nakamura when they're not speaking English.
What? Just because he turns around and speaks English.
Yeah, like it's hard to do that because it's hard to get the character depth. Like you like him right now because he's this heel that's punching people in the dick and being quite sarcastic and quite.
I like him because he's a heel.
Yeah, he's being quite sarcastic and like smarmy, but like. You know, in 6 months, does that wear off when he's not cutting any decent promos?
I don't like him as a face.
No, but that's what I mean. Like when he's not cutting any decent promos as a heel because he can't, or they're not letting him, or whatever. Is it going to wear? Is it going to wear off? Yeah. Like 6 months, it doesn't work for him. These long games.
As soon as he wins that belt, it'll be hard to shut up.
Yeah.
I speak English now.
Yeah. All of a sudden,
interview me.
Do you want to not do the accent? Then we moved on. We had Taker versus Rusev casket match. Better than I thought it was going to be. Not the squash I thought it was going to be.
I think it would have been funny with the squash.
Yeah.
Just carry that on for a while.
I don't know. It was the best hits, wasn't it? Rusev got more in than Cena got. He got more offense than Cena got.
Was drunk.
Yeah, Cena was pissed. He'd been sitting with the fans for the last couple of hours. But
I wonder how many fans actually bought him a drink.
Can you imagine? He was like, "No, I'm not really drinking. Can you stop?"
I bet he was.
Yeah, But
I bet his throat was as soon as he did that marathon run back up to WrestleMania.
so they had the crowd popped for Taker, and they bigged him up. They'd done the promo package beforehand, as always. And they mentioned the fact that he's been in 16 casket matches, whilst Rusev's been in none until tonight.
Yeah, but the casket match gets a bit boring anyway. So should have done a buried alive match. At least you know Taker's got to lose that.
And then they done he throws Rusev into the casket. Aiden English blocks it.
And then runs away.
Taker fucks Aiden English up a little bit. He gets into a brawl with both of them. In the end, wins it. It was a greatest hits. It was a Taker greatest hits match when he hit the old school. He hit the leg drop over the apron, which I'm pretty sure he hasn't done in a long time because he didn't. I mean, didn't do that against Cena. He hasn't. I didn't.
He didn't need to.
No, but he didn't.
He went outside the ring.
Yeah, like I think he done it against Roman, but he didn't do it against Brock. The last matches, and he didn't do it for quite a while.
No offense, against Brock, he didn't look well.
But no, I mean the Brock SummerSlam Hell in a Cell stuff, but
he still wasn't moving very well then.
Well, the Hell in a Cell, he was probably like. I think the Hell in a Cell was the best he's looked since Punk, like since this Punk Mania match. That was a great match.
Why Punk quit?
Yeah.
Give me all the part-timers and all the main event.
I quit because you put me in a WrestleMania match with the greatest wrestler on the planet at the time.
He was given all the part-timers and all 4 of the major pay-per-views and had to lose.
He was still getting paid a hell of a lot of money. Who cares? He's a little whiny bitch. I love him, but he's a little whiny bitch.
Oh my god, you changed your tune on YouTube.
No, like I love him. I love Punk. I think I'd love Punk to come back. I love Punk, but I don't agree with him why he walked out. I don't agree with anyone walking out. Like, I don't agree with Austin walking out back in whenever it was 01 for I don't want a job to Brock.
Yeah, but he had a good point though.
Yeah, he had a good point, but I still don't agree with him walking out or Neville walking out or whatever.
No offense, Vince McMahon doesn't listen.
They're his employees. They should listen. But anyway, Taker wins as predictable. And then we went to Brock and Roman.
Yeah, don't get me started.
So
Roman Reigns won that match. His feet touched the floor first.
Yeah, so we had a multitude of suplexes and
before we even get to that, at the beginning of
spears.
the match, when they announced the whole cage match and everything, the rule is to escape the cage, your feet had to touch the floor first, right?
Well, no. So what they do is they said that the rules of this match are that you can win by pinfall, submission, or escape. And to escape the cage, both feet must touch the floor. That's what they said. And they never normally do it. They never normally specify that last thing.
And what happens at the end?
That's normally something they keep for Royal Rumbles and Battle Royals. Both feet must touch the floor. But then we have the match. The match is pretty decent. Brock looked terrified of being up on top of the cage. He looked like he was shitting his pants being up on top of the cage.
He didn't like it. He didn't like being pulled down either.
No, he didn't. Not one little bit.
He was on him for dear life before Roman was born.
Like he did not like being up there.
You should not put him in a cage.
No.
Yes.
Paul Heyman smashes the door into Roman's face, throws a chair in, gets used against Brock instead.
Brock Lesnar just got bad.
Yeah, and then Roman spears Brock through the cage. They both end up on the outside. They ring the bell and they say Brock Lesnar's retained the championship
because his back hit the floor first.
No, they didn't at first. What they did is they said Roman Reigns' feet touched the floor first. He went through and Roman Reigns' feet, Brock Lesnar's feet touched the floor first, and they kept on saying it. And then they played a replay, and then they had to try and make themselves get out of it by going, feet back. It's all the same thing, really. He touched the floor first.
That's not.
Well, no, you literally 2 minutes ago you were saying both feet must touch the floor, but as always in WWE they change the rules as they go along. This is like, do you remember that Sting versus Triple H match at Mania where they're having this match?
Oh, and the one where they never said about it
being a street fight.
All of a sudden a weapon pops out.
He hits him with a sledgehammer, and everyone went, all right, he'd be disqualified.
Literally, all of a sudden, he pulls out a sledgehammer and it's no disqualification.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He pulls out the sledgehammer, hits him with a sledgehammer, and everyone's going, what the fuck is he doing? And then Michael Cole's going, this is a street fight. And you're like, oh, since when? Like, they never promoted it as such at all. They just do things on the fly. Oh, did we tell people that this is never oh shit, we didn't do that, did we? But this was the same thing. It was like Brock didn't touch the floor, not even slightly.
Oh, his feet were on top of a cage that was stuck in the air.
And Roman literally rolled over and touched the floor. But they fucked up. They obviously didn't test it at all, and they thought, oh, we can do this. We know it's gimmick. We can do all that, but they didn't actually test it.
Your feet need to touch the floor.
Yeah, it's a simple get out. Don't use them words. Just say the first person to exit the cage wins.
Technically, the rules are your feet need to touch the floor.
No, but that's the point.
State it in the beginning part of the match.
But that's what I'm saying.
It's not going to be an issue.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Is that's the only thing, is all they've got to do is not say that, because technically all they have to do is say the first person to exit wins. But the fact that they made a ridiculous point of saying it is just stupid.
That and what happened to Hornswoggle really irritated me.
And then we had this Rumble.
Another Royal Rumble where they can't tell how long 90 seconds is.
Yeah, we had this Rumble. They started it off by showing us this title. Title looked quite nice. Title looked quite cool. Pointless. Hadn't mentioned it before. The trophy looks really cool. Trophy's much better than the vagina trophy from the women's one and the plastic looking Andre one. This one looked really cool. Massive as well. I didn't realise how big it was until it was in the ring with Braun at the end.
Well, yeah, Braun wanted to pick it up, and I think
they were like, don't touch it. No. Don't touch it. Yeah. No. But the title looked cool. Completely meaningless, completely pointless, but whatever.
How do you know? There could be a reason for that title. You never know now.
Yeah. I mean, it had the Saudi logos on it, like their tourism logos on it. So that was basically it. They just used it for their tourism board. Ridiculous. Anyway.
So, you never know. May have a new belt for a new region.
Well, they fuck. The Rumble starts with.
All right, that's how they didn't it.
Well, they fuck. I mean, come on. Look, when are they going to be regularly wrestling over in Saudi Arabia?
How often do they end up wrestling in England as much now?
Hey, they got a UK show coming in. They're wrestling here about 18 times this year. They got lots of shows.
They've had a belt which they have to send their guy to the Indies to defend it in England.
Yeah, it's being defended though. It's being defended more than the WWE title.
But you always know when he goes to an indie show, he's never going to lose it.
Yeah, but he's still defending it. He's still actually defending that. It's being defended more than the TNA, than the TNA Championship, WWE Championship, a lot. You know, it's a roaming title. It's like an old-fashioned roaming title. You know, it's
pointless.
Solely the UK title is solely based because they wanted to bring the UK show 2 years ago, and then World of Sport didn't come back, so they thought, we haven't got to rush it now, so they didn't bother. So like they brought out this title, they'd done this tournament, and it was looking good, and then they suddenly went, oh, we've got no reason to bother. We've got no competition in the UK. It's good. And now World of Sports announced a couple of weeks ago that it's coming back. So now they're like, oh, we're going to do a tournament in the UK, and we're going to run our shows now this year. Funny that. But anyway, the Rumble starts with Bryan and Ziggler at number 1 and 2. Bryan makes his way pretty much right to the end.
Yeah, you actually think he's winning it. I said Bryan has no reason to have to win any of that.
Well, no, I had Braun as my winner.
Yeah, but you were at one point there saying about, do you want to think about changing it to Daniel?
Yeah, I'd chosen Daniel at first, and then I thought, oh well, no, of course it's going to be Braun. But I had Bryan in it solely because I was like, oh, they're going to have him be the new Ray.
Dolph would win it, if I'm honest.
They had Hiroku Sumi come in, a sumo wrestler. And I think the internet and the crowd and everyone just collectively went, "Who the fuck is that?"
Well, to be honest, they brought in some NXT guys, which is pointless. Because no offense, you just had Drew
McIntyre
debut. Where was he?
Yeah, so they didn't have Drew McIntyre. They didn't have No Way Jose.
No.
You know that let's bring up some random dudes from NXT who. No offense.
Top talent bad.
Roderick Strong was a good call. He looked awesome. Picking up Big E, he looked freaking awesome.
Yeah, but the problem was though,
he just ran through
their NXT. The NXT guys they all brought up. Basically, when they come in, just kicked all of their main roster guys back.
I hate it.
That just made your main roster bad.
Yeah, I hate that. I hated it like in the actual Rumbles this year when they did that with them all in the actual Rumbles, both the women and the male Rumble. They brought up all these NXT people who just ram-raided their way through the WWE talent, and you're like, well, why would you do that? But it bugged me the fact that they didn't have like Drew McIntyre and No Way Jose and like Andrade and Almas.
We worked that West Sami Zayn right now.
Yeah, but like people who they'd actually called up to the roster, and then they figure, oh yeah, let's not use them. Let's call up people who are in NXT still who we're not using. It just seems such a stupid idea. I had
Dolph Ziggler was going a lot further and maybe winning it because I thought, Drew Gallows would beat it. Not Drew Gallows.
Drew Gallows. Drew
my
Gallows.
Too many Drews.
You're about 10 years behind Drew
Too many
Gallows.
Drews now.
Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre helping him out.
But yeah, anyway, we had Elias came out to actually a hell of a reaction. I forgot about Elias.
Yeah.
Elias. And they done the whole thing. WWE stands for Walk with Elias.
Still, Hornswoggle was not eliminated.
We'll get to it. Elias,
I'm angry over this.
We'll get to it. Elias came out first.
I don't care about Elias.
Elias came out, probably got, other than Jericho, probably got the reaction of the night, and the entire crowd actually chanted "Walk with Elias" back to him, which I didn't expect. That was quite something. He came straight in. They brought him in strong, eliminated Xavier Kofi Connor from the Ascension like that. Then Hornswoggle came in as a surprise entry. He went through like the bottom rope, climbed up the top, never went over the top rope. They kicked him off and he got eliminated. Corey Graves even called it. Corey Graves even said, did he go over the top rope? And they just completely ignored it and carried on with it.
He was eliminated.
Yeah, that was it. But once again, this goes back to WWE just making up on the fly.
You, Vince McMahon.
Yeah, Roderick Strong, as I said, he came in. He looked great. He's great down in NXT. He's been great the last couple of months.
I like the way that when it comes to Adam Cole's team, the leader, he doesn't get.
Yeah, that was weird. When he came out, I said to you straight away. When he came out, I said, "Oh well, that means Adam Cole's going to be here." I sort of assumed he'd be there, but yeah. And then the highlight of the show happened. Titus O'Neil's music hits. He's coming to the ring. He falls, and he just falls from about 10 feet away from the ring, and just baseball slides underneath the ring through the apron. And because the view we get is just him coming back out from the apron, and you hear Corey Graves and Michael Cole wetting themselves laughing. You're like, what happened?
You've never seen a replay done about 5 or 6
times. They just replay it from every angle in slow-mo, everything. You just know Kevin Dunn and Vince McMahon were sitting there.
What's the bet? Vince McMahon's going nuts because of all of this.
Yeah.
But Kevin's like that. Having the time of his life. It's like,
replay.
Why will you stop replaying this? You can see Vince McMahon going nuts. Then laughing his head off when he comes out of the curtain.
You know, because everyone knows that Vince McMahon's got this ridiculous sense of humour. So you just absolutely know Vince saw that and laughed his ass off and was just replaying. Kevin, replay. And they just carried on. They were showing it like 10 minutes later.
I'm still disappointed though, a bit later on though, when Shane came out, eventually Daniel Bryan didn't screw him over and eliminate him.
Yeah.
I'm really disappointed. I'm still waiting for that thing to happen.
Yeah, but
it's not going to happen now.
Long build. Do the long build.
It's not going to happen now.
Why?
Only we're going to work. Be any good if he was still technically in power or in that one moment there just after it.
Yeah, because they can still do it. Because they can still do like Brian. You know,
what, Shane McMahon screwing over more talent and upsetting them.
Well, no, or like people. You know, they can do a story where people go to Brian for advice and all this sort of stuff, like as him as an ex-GM and him trying to influence things as an ex-GM. Yeah, but they can work that in to let him and Paige are friends. But like they can do something there, or Shane and Paige get into it, and Brian is Paige's thing. They're going to do Brian versus Shane. It's just a matter of when. But they're playing that long game because they're still with the Kevin Owens thing. And then we had a fuck up with Bobby Lashley and Big Cass. This was just one of many. Bobby Lashley has him up, and then just sort of drops him on his face.
Cass pretty much died.
Yeah, he just
it wasn't like Cass's fault. So
Big Cass couldn't hold himself up, so Bobby just sort of drops him on his face. We had what else happened with? Who else did Bobby try and grab? Oh, Elias. He tried to grab Elias. Dropped Elias.
No, but when he dropped Elias just kept punching him.
Well, no, because he tried to pick him up in the sidewalk slam, didn't he?
I know, but that was more due to the fact that because everyone's so hot and sweaty, as he's gone to pick him up, gone like that, he just thinks he pushes him down.
Yeah,
into a slam.
But you know, it seemed to be a multitude of things. Bobby just sort of he dropped Elias on his head. He dropped Cass on his head. He dropped Elias. Bobby didn't look great, and he's not looked great since he's come back.
One with Elias, they weren't so much his fault as he's gone to try him. No offense, Elias has been in the ring for about 10 minutes, sweating his backside off. So as he goes to grab him, it's fucking. But
once again, it's Bobby that is made to look bad, and Bobby's not looked great since he's been back.
I actually needed a quick recovery because he slipped to me that he pushed him.
Yeah, he's sort of I'm trying to, but Yeah, I'm really. It's really annoying me. I've said this
Yeah,
to
but
you so
it's
many
been
times.
annoying
It's really annoying
because-
me because I think Bobby Lashley should be something
Yeah,
bigger,
but it's annoying
and they're not.
because
They're not doing
the
anything
last
with
two
him.
matches they've done, they've been with Braun, and you've mentioned it on both occasions.
It just annoys me. They put Bobby and Braun together and then let Braun get the win whilst Bobby stays on the outside,
but it
looking
shows
weak.
you now why, because he just won this.
Yeah. But it just makes him look weak, and it annoys me. Well, don't put them together. That's a simple question answer. Don't put them together. You know, they book this show. They have the choice not to put them together, and they decide, oh no, let's put Bobby, this new big monster that we really want to build up, together with our biggest monster. It's just stupid. And Bobby should have been. Bobby should be
They
treated
need to
better.
find Braun a new tag team now, don't they, partner? Because this last one's got scheduling issues.
Yeah. And then
Probably Lashley's able to be there or not.
yeah, Big Cass comes out like, was he last? No, it wasn't last. It was 49. Jericho's last, but at this point, Daniel Bryan's arms, chest, everything just looked like he'd gone through freaking hell and back. Like it was just crazy. He just looked like he'd been beaten to death.
Let's be honest, he was now technically somehow has
He's
broken the record for a Royal Rumble thing, but it's not a British.
He's got the longest record for a Royal Rumble, and WWE will record it as such.
No.
Yeah, WWE will record it as such because it's still a Royal Rumble. It's not a Battle Royal, it's a Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble, though.
Don't matter. But it doesn't matter because the records for the 40-man Royal Rumble still stand in the Royal Rumble thing.
As well.
But it still stands.
It's still a stupid Royal Rumble.
And they... No.
Yeah, it was. It was naff, and now WWE on it.
Oh, what, the 40-man one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 40-man one was awful. Yeah, to be fair, I quite like this Rumble. It was meaningless. This Rumble.
It was good to watch because of one thing: a black man fell underneath the ring. They cheated Hornswoggle out.
You could just say Titus. I don't know. The Royal Rumble as a whole was decent.
Angry over Hornswoggle and Roman Reigns.
But yeah, Brian's chest looked ridiculous by the end of it, and he loses. Unfortunately, it comes down to Big Cass, and
doesn't need to win that.
It comes down to him and Braun. Neither does Braun at this point. That's why when Big Cass came down, I thought, oh, maybe they're actually going to give it to Big Cass. I'd forgotten about him.
I think it might just be nice to have something to win.
Yeah, just give him something. But Braun now. Braun's at that point where he doesn't need this shit. But yeah, Braun wins. He then gets to stand in the ring with Vince and someone from the Saudi Arabian. I don't know. They didn't actually say who it was. So someone from the Saudi Arabian Authority. You know, yeah, he didn't want to give Braun a belt.
Braun was going to break him out.
Vince McMahon looked like he was cacking his pants being there, which made me laugh. But
probably missing his air conditioning room.
Yeah, as a whole, it was just a pointless show. That's why I wasn't even bothering.
So much
I was rushing through this
idea.
Well, it wasn't even just Meltzer. It was everyone. Everyone was sort of saying, you know, the amount of money that they're throwing at them, they've got to give them something, and they gave them nothing. Nothing.
I was right that this was a pointless show.
The thing is, it wasn't a pointless show. It just gave them nothing. They just gave them nothing. No. I mean, it wasn't pointless in the sense that they've attempted to build characters and stories from it. You know, we've probably got Seth and Finn coming out of it. We've got a better match out of AJ and Nakamura, and that's going to move forward into something better. They furthered the Cass Daniel Bryan thing to make it more than just a single solitary bullshit attack, which they've done on him. You know, they've done things which they tend not to even do on a Raw or SmackDown. To be fair, they actually did stuff with characters on this one freaking ridiculously long pay-per-view, which they can't manage to do week to week on Raw and SmackDown. That's the only plus out of it. But nothing changes. They've just furthered everything. But I don't know. It was the reason it's gonna make a big difference is the Saudi Arabians are giving them a hell of a lot of money, and basically they're now in their pocket. You know, if they want things to go a certain way, it's going to go that certain way. So that's how it's going to make a big difference now. Is that this is happening again next year, and it's got to be bigger. It's got to be better.
Maybe they might ask for an arena with decent air conditioning.
Yeah, but you know they're doing it again next year. They've signed a 5-year deal with them, so they're for a 5-year TV deal and all this sort of stuff. So you know they're going back there every year. And if the Saudis are paying for these events, why wouldn't they go back there every year? They'd be stupid not to from a business sense.
$2 for a seat.
Yeah, $2 for a seat, exactly. Why would they? But I mean, as we said before as well, it's a shame and a shambles that they haven't got anything for the women thus far. I'm hoping
doing some of it for the women. I thought they would have done it this weekend.
I'm hoping they'll do it some point during the summer or whatever. They'll do something like a ladies' night sort of thing, like a women's night, and actually allow them to have something, because I think in 2018, when they've been pushing this women's revolution so much, to then suddenly be like, oh, sorry, you lot can't come with us, I think is just awful, and it doesn't sit right. I think it's really weird. Like Meltzer's been on one tonight on Twitter about the North Korean show that WCW held, and how if they were to say you can't bring black people to the event, it would be completely different, but because it's women, everyone's like, oh well, it's just what it is. But like, it does leave it. I think Meltzer's wording it awfully. I think he's really, really poorly wording it, but he's got the point. The point is valid. It doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't sit right with anyone really, that the women who they've been pushing to the moon for the last couple of years suddenly just get left aside.
At the end of the day, it was, if you're going to do that with this just to make that country happy, then why have you not just done an event right over the next sort of 2 days for that?
Yeah.
It hasn't got to be on anything. They have a whole network that they can do it on. It's not
they could have filmed it. They could have filmed it 3 weeks ago and just put it up on the network, tonight or tomorrow or whatever. It doesn't have to be live. They could have filmed it whenever. But just the fact that there's nothing, and like, this, I've got the photo somewhere where they legitimately did this. This was a thing they did where they so they had a 10-woman match headlined Raw this week, and on the show they actually cut away from the women's match to advertise the Greatest Royal Rumble, and that made me laugh so much, because I was like, they're actually cutting away from a women's main event match to advertise a show which they can't appear on. Just, does that not scream insult?
It just screams WWE.
Honestly. Anyway, it was a dumb show for a dumb reason, just for cash.
To be honest, it was just hilarious, because now all the commentators making so much mistakes.
Oh, it was just a cluster from start to finish.
I can only put it down to heat stroke for everyone.
Yeah. I'll give them a slide mainly based on that, but like, I feel as though it's not true. But I'll give them a slide.
No, Jeff Hardy's bias, he just doesn't care.
Yeah, Jeff Hardy's just been cocking up the whisper in the wind every time he's hit it over the last year.
To be honest, because we all know eventually he's sort of done after as part of out of stuff things. So I just don't think he cares what he does right now.
Yeah, but I'll be interested to see what Raw brings, kinda, but not really, because until Backlash is done, this whole thing is just a mess.
Yes, it'll be interesting. I can't wait till after Backlash before things hopefully pick up to be slightly interesting. Because
we still got like Roman and Joe randomly fighting at Backlash for no reason, on different brands. I think we've got Orton versus Jeff. I'm assuming they're going to maybe throw Jinder in there. Like, who knows?
Well, I might do, because at the moment you've still got Miz versus Seth Rollins and Shane. So you
got that as well.
They've still got a chance of switching the belts around. So.
Yeah, so they could still do that then. But then if they do that then I'll just sit there and think, well, why didn't you do it at the Greatest Royal Rumble? Why didn't you give them something on that show?
Because they gave Seth a moment of being a title featuring person from them.
Anyway, ridiculous. Anyway, I think we'll probably be back with a roundup next week of the shows. So that was the Greatest Royal Rumble.
Joke.
It was a C- show. At best. It was what it was. It was fine. It
was just for the comedy.
Yeah. It was a C- show with an A+ Titus O'Neil baseball sliding into underneath.
Not only that, the commentator team was full of comedy, because none of them had a clue what they were talking about.
They were just talking rubbish.
It's like they're all a bunch of amateurs, especially the one who trains them all, Michael Cole.
Michael Cole was a joke. Anyway, so that was it. That was the Greatest Royal Rumble. We're out.